And there's always a discussion, how much effort to put in, how much should we do, who meets your goal. There's always another work, which means you can enjoy the peace. But if you are too, your mind wanders time. So that's between power is the brick wall and sore head, which is just a few meters right away you've been banging there, which you can climb. Showed me an ABC news clip of a detention centre they were building somewhere, and it's good, some faster than, because when we say it's be here, it doesn't matter, the mind's going all over, it's okay, you find you're wandering, because it doesn't anymore. Bird flying above Perth, looking for a place it can just settle down to take a rest. And now I see in many of these street lamps, or these big lights on the freeway, they put all of this jagged, spiky stuff so the birds can't land, because they don't want to poop all over the electric work. And because of that, it means that those poor birds have to fly here, fly there, fly somewhere else, trying to find a place they can land and take a rest. And that is a metaphor for your mind. Flying here, flying there, flying someplace where you can just rest and take a break. You're so tired. So that's the restless mind, flying all over the place, looking for a place to rest. And what you do is say, this is good enough, this is it. I'm going to stay here. It's not perfect, it's not good, but it's good enough. So, when we have good enough idea, yeah, the mind's running around, it's good enough. I'm falling asleep, that's good enough. When I make peace with things, then I make what I call good meditation karma. Karma is cause, and the effect means, because I'm making peace, I soon experience peace. The mind starts to slow down, starts to stop, because it doesn't need to look for anywhere anymore. It's found a place to rest. Right here, it's good enough. Which means we stop, slow down, become peaceful. Meditation is always the art of stillness, learning how not to move, learning just how to sit down. Last week I was in Melbourne, next week I'll be in Phuket, the week after, a couple of weeks after, in New York. People ask me about my life. I say, oh, my life is always up and down, by which I mean taking off and landing. That's my life, up and down. The ups and downs of Ajahn Brahm's life. But wherever you go, at least wherever I travel, actually I don't travel anywhere. I just sit down in the plane moves, I'm always just sitting here. Just outside changes, but I don't go anywhere. People ask me, are you going to be here next week? So I'm always here. Sometimes you're not here. Changing perspectives is called wisdom power. So the world changes outside. You close your eyes, you're in Perth. You open them, you're in Thailand. You close your eyes, and you open them again, and you're back in Perth. You close your eyes, and now I'm in New York. That's all it is. I don't go anywhere. I don't travel. I'm always here. So that means in meditation, what do you mean, restless mind? You're always here, just watching it. The mind goes over there, you just watch it. Your mind goes over there, you just watch it. You're always here. What are you more talking about? Restlessness. Happy to be here. Then your mind becomes still, even though things outside are moving. There's noises, but I never react. I'm quiet. Someone bangs the door, but I don't bang. But sometimes, you guys, someone bangs the door, And inside your head, why'd they bang the door? Who was that? I'm going to find out and ban them. I'm going to take a photo of them on my iPhone. It's not the first time they did this. Ajahn Brahm needs to know. We've got to put a big sign outside the people who are banned from coming to the afternoon meditation because they keep banging the doors or snoring or moving or something. And the bang of the door finished minutes ago. So, I don't hear noise. Like I don't go anywhere. You're silent. Not reacting. Just happy to be here. That is meditation and how to be still. You try and control the world outside. Stop people from moving. Stop people from coming in late. Stop. But you can't do that. And you always allow people to come in late. Because you're not late. The only time you have is now, and you came in now, right on time. The only time we have. So, with attitudes like that, with wisdom power, it's so easy to meditate. If you want something more, you'll never be able to meditate. If you're trying to get somewhere, you'll always be restless. If you're happy to be here, then you're free. Simple, but very effective. So, now we can actually practice what I preach. So if you'd like to find yourself a nice meditation place somewhere, a nice cushion or someplace you can just sit down and relax. Oops. So we begin by closing our eyes. And with your eyes closed, usually what you're aware of, as well as my voice, is your body sitting here. With your body sitting here. We're always told to get into a good posture first of all. What that means is we start to become aware of our body. Not the whole body, but meticulously, systematically looking through the body to make sure everything is ready. So first of all, your legs. How are your legs right now? How do they feel? Do you need to move them, to adjust them? Remember, many people get sore knees, sore legs. Why? It's because they were never careful enough to place their legs in a good position to begin with. So not only is this for your comfort and pain-free meditation, it's also a beginning of development of mindfulness, becoming aware of the feelings in your legs. So if you need to move, like I've just been fidgeting, I get the fidgeting out of the way at the beginning. So I don't need to fidget. later on. So your legs are good. Then you put your awareness on your bottom to make sure that that's not going to cause you any problems. You put awareness down there, notice the feelings. Mindfulness gives you feedback. Kindness moves, adjusts until you get the best possible position for your body. And then move up your body. Every part should be examined with mindfulness to see if it needs any adjustment. Stretch your back. You can let it slouch, lean forward, lean back. It's up to you to find out what is the best position for your own back. And your back feels good. A position which you cannot improve. That's kindness. And then you look at your hands, where are they? The position of your fingers and thumbs can be whatever is comfortable. Nothing is magic, it's just superstition. But your feelings, direct experience, that's real. Check that. Once the hands and arms are comfortable, move up to your head. So the head is not too far to the left, not too far to the right, not forward, not back, just balance, comfortable. Checking the body, stage by stage, also interrupts the opportunity to go thinking and fantasizing again. You've got something to be aware of. Before you leave your head, check the muscles around your eyes. See how tight they are or how loose they are. The emotions are played out on the face, so we can recognize if a person's anxious or at peace, whether they are friendly or danger. So loosen the muscles around your eyes. You can do that because if you have awareness, mindfulness of those muscles, it does give you feedback. And you learn how to relax. Once that's relaxed, your posture is good. But there's always a part of your body which might be aching or tight or in pain. If that's the case, focus on that part of the body, just one part of your body, to the exclusion of everything else. Focusing, zooming in, centering your attention in that area, going into it. Because once you're mindful of a part of your body which is irritating, you have feedback of that area. Trial and error, you'll soon learn how to relax your own body. The trick is just seeing the connection between your emotional reaction and that physical feeling. If you try and control it, it gets worse. If you let it be, it gets better. Check it out. Make peace with it. Be kind. You find that part of the body responds. The inflammation reduces. The pain gets less. When you let it be, you're not adding the emotional pain onto the physical source. You experience that as what was an ache, a pulsating throb, or sharp pains, soften, ease, and you continue on that path. And great aches and pains, disturbances in your body can be meditated away with mindfulness and kindness. And once that part of the body's been relaxed, then we can go on to our mind, our emotional world. Only when the body is at ease is it sensible to go on to the more refined emotional world. And just ask yourself, how peaceful are you? from 1 to 10. 1 being really peaceful, 10 being agitated. Just to get aware of the peace-ometer. How peaceful are you? This is using wisdom power to calm down. If we want to be peaceful, we've got to know what it is, where to look. So put your mindfulness on this thing I call peaceometer, which tells you how peaceful you are. That's why I asked you to give it a number, 1 to 10. Straight away it puts you aware of how peaceful you are. As you get more and more, more and more peaceful, learning how to move that needle closer to 1. And again, just like relaxing your body, it's how you react to these things in your mind. Give it kindness, letting it be, making peace, happy to be here. This is good enough. That's what moves the needle closer to 1. If you want to be somewhere else, you get tense. If you want to change the past, you get tense. Past is unalterable. The only thing you can do is to let it go. Go digging up the bones of the past, and that needle goes way up to 10. You find if you put attention on calmness, peace, stillness first of all, then when the time comes to say, be aware of your breathing, there's hardly any thoughts left. You've attended to the cause of all the thinking. Dealt with the real problem, the lack of peace, because unskillful ways of looking at this moment. Change your mind and you change the world. When the breath comes to you, just go for it. Let your awareness be on the breathing. Breathing in peace, breathe out, let go. Because I'm now going to be quiet until the end of the meditation. close to the end of the meditation. How are you? How do you feel? How peaceful are you? How relaxed? And why? Now I'm going to ring the gong 3 times. Please listen. When the third ringing disappears, come out from your meditation. Ooh. Thank you, Pei. So because usually the questions from overseas come first, that's nice. Anyone here have a question about the meditations today? Yes, Harry? Over here, Pei. Harry. Here we go. Next to you. There we go.
A couple of weeks ago, someone asked a question about how to meditate without an alarm clock.
Oh, yeah.
And they mentioned that just programming our mind.
Yeah.
I believe I asked that question a couple of years ago. I did quite well, actually, to be honest. It's pretty much almost spot on. The question I'm asking is sometimes we program ourselves, say, look, we want to get up at 5 o'clock. That's okay.
Yes.
But at times, for example, during the weekends, so we just want to let ourselves go, so we don't want to set the time. And a story about, as you mentioned, that sometimes we get into deep meditation, we probably sort of basically, we don't feel our breathing. So
yes.
actually, not unconscious, but in the state that we don't realize what's outside.
So what's the question?
Now, so the question is that, it's a joke that saying, when we realize we actually buried 6 foot down in the ground, sort of things like that, I don't know, in that situation, say, how do we tackle these things, in case, in an unlikely event that happens, we get into really deep meditation, that we don't feel anything.
They just enjoy it. You might miss an appointment, be late for work, but it's worth it. Have a wonderful time. So it's worth getting into trouble with your boss for being late, having a beautiful, deep, wonderful, rich meditation, nothing like it in the world. Well, that's one way. I should actually mention that now you have iPhones and tablets like the one in front of me. You can always just put on an alarm on your tablet. There's all different types of alarms you can put on. You can put on like the Zen gong alarm. So you can put 50 minutes on the iPad and just go, and after 50 minutes it goes boom. So you can always have your own alarm. Okay.
Just wondering, just for the family point of view, you said the wife come along and say, oh, geez, Hobson's not breathing, call a paramedic.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter, because most times that will not happen. If it does happen, you'll be perfectly safe. Anyway, first of all, from New Zealand, Germany and Poland. From New Zealand, I managed to detach from thoughts and enter a state of peace while sitting. Wonderful. On my out breath, I sometimes experience a falling sensation, With the absence of thinking, often I get close to falling asleep. Does this mean deep down I'm just tired, or is this common? There's a different thing about just falling asleep, and that's when you really don't realize you're falling asleep. And that is just because the mindfulness is very, very dim, very weak. So if you fall asleep, you don't even know it until afterwards. But with a falling sensation that's so common, that's usually going into a deeper state of meditation. So if you're aware of a falling sensation, don't be afraid, just go for it. See what happens at the very end of that falling sensation. You usually go into a deeper state of meditation, it's just the way you perceive it. So falling sensations are great, people mess around because they get afraid, they interrupt a natural process. So just keep the process natural, don't get involved. Whenever I go in an aircraft, I never tell the pilot how to fly the plane. If I do, I get chucked out. All you do is just to let the pilot do the flying, and that's for me, the mind knows how to meditate. I just am there as a passenger, enjoying the journey. If it falls, it falls. You enjoy it all the way. So from New Zealand, on the out-breath, experience a falling sensation, go for it. Don't interrupt, you're not falling asleep. From Germany, how do you calm your mind and find peace when in chronic pain, and all you can do is just calming your body and no energy is left? If you can just calm the body and just be still, then you do find some peace. If a person is sick, low energy, or in chronic pain, the type of meditation technique which I advise, which I mentioned many times, is the Emperor's Three Questions meditation. So from Germany, now is the most important time. Just don't allow your mind to go into the future or the past. If it goes into the future, if you have chronic pain, you start to feel, how long can I endure this? This keeps going on and on and on and on. And this fear makes the pain much worse. This is a teaching of the Buddha, which apparently neurologists have found out to be quite true as well. Two parts of pain. One is the physical pain, which you can't do much about, but there's the other part, is the mental reaction to the pain, which is the biggest part, 80-90% of it. So if you can just, now's the most important time, the pain right in front of you, the feeling, the sensation, is the most important thing in the whole world. Give it importance, value it, don't try and get rid of it, it's important. That is your meditation object. And you make peace with it, you care for it. You can always make peace with anything, even with pain. In fact, if you start making peace with the pain, not pain in the body, but just pain taken away from the body, just pain itself, make peace with it, disembody it, and then it's just pain. You make peace with it. You're kind to it, and it transforms into something completely unexpected. And then you're off into deep meditations. So, in chronic pain, don't try and get rid of it. Go right inside of it. Give it importance. And again, it's not sort of something you have to, is an obstacle in the way of the meditation. It is your meditation object. And now just the mental attitude towards it, really be kind, make peace with it. Stop fighting it. It's a hard thing to say, but this is good enough. Be happy to be there with the pain, even though it's intense. And it changes the ball game. Lastly, from Poland. When I meditate, I often feel very heavy, as if gravity works more on my body. Is it normal? Yeah, actually that's quite common. Many people have told me that. They feel very, very heavy. Is it okay to lean one's back and head on a chair or wall? Also, do I have to sit like Ajahn or on a chair with both my feet on the ground? Or can I sit however I feel comfortable, even in a strange position? Yes, from Poland, you can sit whichever way you like. The stranger the position, the weirder, the better. I like weird. So, but feeling very heavy. Sometimes that heaviness is a sign that your body's about to disappear. Sounds counterintuitive. So you have to be light and it disappears. Now sometimes what's happening is the mindfulness gets really strong and everything gets exaggerated, amplified, increased in intensity. So even the body got its natural weight, but the perception makes it feel really, really heavy. And it's a sign that your mindfulness is increasing. Just the more common I remember feeling, it's a long time since I felt this now because I just go right past that stage. You just like ants crawling all over your body, like really itchy, pleasantly so. It's not an irritation, but you can really feel the nerve endings in your skin. And you can, it's always there. I can look at it now, you can feel sensitivity in your skin, but now it's amplified. And so that amplification of awareness, mindfulness is quite common. It's a great sign. Don't be afraid, just stay inside, and soon the next thing which usually happens is the body vanishes. So that's real, the heaviness sometimes. For me, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't just lean back or lean forward or change my posture. But usually it's a pleasant heaviness and I'm just enjoying it. I'm a very heavy monk. I'm a heavy dude. I have gravitas. But anyway, if you feel, especially the beginning of the meditation, leaning one's back and head on a chair or wall, as many people here do, fine, no problem at all, smart. Or wherever you feel comfortable. So it's okay to sit in a strange position. Sometimes if you're in a Buddhist temple, they don't lay on the ground because sometimes people feel that offensive. If you want to lay on the ground, just go do meditation in your own room somewhere. Because sometimes it's ancient from the time of the Buddha. It's not Sri Lankan tradition or Thai tradition, it's Buddhist tradition. You're not supposed to point your feet at the Buddha. So sometimes, but more than that, when people lay on the ground, they usually end up snoring. So it's nice to be able to sit on a floor, sit on a stool, sit on a chair, or against the wall. You can put your feet out against the wall, but that's usually comfortable enough. Okay, so thank you for the questions from New Zealand, and from Germany, Danke, and from Poland.